September 22nd, 2025 was the day Doors died. Not in terms of popularity or player count, the game was actually doing pretty decently back then, and it's even better now. No, September 22nd, 2025 was the day a portion of Doors died, spiritually. It was the day that cemented how the game could never branch out into other genres, and for better or for worse, it would have to stick to its core gameplay loop basically forever. You see, in every video game's life, there should always be something, whether it be in an event or game mode, that experiments with the game's basic gameplay loop, completely changing it to see how the community responds. If the reaction is decent, then the game becomes a whole lot more replayable, as it appeals to a whole different genre. September 22nd unfortunately proved that Doors was not capable of this. Or did it? Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing this rather interesting date. What specifically occurred on this meaningful day, what it meant for the game, and how it could be changed to improve the game's longevity. We've got a lot to discuss today, so with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so the most obvious thing you are probably wondering is what exactly happened on September 22nd? Well, it was the day that marked the death of Battle Mode. This was a rather ambitious experimental game mode that completely flipped the script of the Doors gameplay loop, transforming the slow-paced horror experience into a fast-paced competitive brawl. I, for one, was a very big fan of this game mode, and a lot of other people were too, as its release boosted player counts quite heavily. Now, as you probably know, before Battle Mode was Battle Mode, it was called Ranked Mode, and it was released as a limited-time April Fool's game mode, before being rebranded and updated into Battle Mode for the Takeover event. After the Takeover event ended though, Battle Mode essentially died, receiving little to no traction even though it is a permanent game mode. Why is this the case, and why is it a problem? Well, let's answer the latter first. Battle Mode is a competitive PvP game mode that cannot be played solo. It has to be played with multiple people. This means that since nobody is playing it, the few that want to play are physically unable to. Furthermore, Battle Mode introduces a ton of completely new and fresh mechanics to the game, making it not only an enjoyable experience for players who are tired of the traditional gameplay loop, but it also meant the developers spent a lot of time and effort actually making the game mode. The lack of attention it has nowadays means the developers' efforts have gone to waste, and nobody is really able to fully grasp all of its new implementations as they require multiple people playing to be fully experienced. What's more, a lot of achievements are actually locked behind playing Battle Mode, meaning a chunk of the game's natural progression is mostly out of hands of players. The revitalization of this game mode is something which I believe the developers should eventually focus on sometime in the future. However, before we tackle how that could be done, we need to understand why Battle Mode failed to begin with. For one, Battle Mode was hardly any different from Ranked Mode. Many players already experienced all this game mode had to offer when it first released during April Fools. So when it was slightly updated and re-released for the Takeover event, many players had little to nothing new to experience, which encouraged them to play less rather than more. This means if the game mode was ever to be revived, a decently significant amount of new content would have to be poured into it so it feels fresh for players to experience again. Secondly, the game mode offers no incentive of replayability. Ranked Mode had an entire ranking system which rewarded players with cool achievements as they played more, and that served as a decently good system to boost replayability. Battle Mode only rewards knobs which can be more easily obtained by simply playing the game normally. This means Battle Mode's only appeal was the gameplay itself, which although is very fun, gets stale after so many times. If the game mode was to be revived, some replayability system would have to be implemented to keep it alive. Let's tackle the first issue. As I said, Battle Mode requires some people to play it in order for everyone to play. This current system of joining Battle Mode rounds was good when the game mode was popular, but I think it needs to be somewhat revamped to account for the lower player counts nowadays. For inspiration, I'd like to bring your attention to another Roblox game which you probably aren't familiar with, Roblox Bed Wars. Now, this game has a very interesting match joining system, which I think would be perfect for Battle Mode. How it works is that when you select to join a match, the game will locate for other players who also select to join a match across all servers. Then it puts everyone into one game server, ensuring everyone who wants to play ends up in a full lobby. Players can select if they want to play with friends, and they're also sent into that full lobby too. This system, or something like it, should definitely be added to the battle mode elevators to ensure all matches have full or nearly full servers, making the game mode actually playable whenever players feel like it. Moving on to the second issue, what could the developers do regarding new content in battle mode? Given how experimental the game mode is, it's very risky to invest lots of time and effort into battle mode when that could actually be put towards more successful endeavors, such as enhancing the normal gameplay loop. However, given how both ranked mode and its re-release as battle mode boosted player counts temporarily, which is typical for Doors updates, it's likely updating the game mode would do the same, especially if the update was advertised heavily. I feel a battle mode update could be the focus of one of the next batches, and it could include stuff like new items and maybe even a new entity that could only be exclusively found in the game mode. Entities are one of the most highly anticipated features of Doors updates, there's no doubt about that. So having a very special one unique to this game mode would likely bring in a lot of players. A new entity exclusive to battle mode also gives the developers a special opportunity to make special mechanics tailored to multiplayer, which could actually be interesting to see. Lastly, the final issue plaguing battle mode is its lack of replayability. To solve this, I think there's a pretty simple solution, and that is to bring back the ranking system from ranked mode, albeit somewhat revised. The ranking system automatically works to make people continuously play the game mode, as players do want to improve their rank, and the only way to do that is by actually playing battle mode. Players could be able to show off their battle mode rank like they do with achievements in the lobby, and leveling up through the ranking system could provide additional rewards to further incentivize replayability, such as exclusive item skins and buddies for each rank you obtain. Really, the ranking system is a pretty simple way to make players come back and grind a game mode, and if it offers actual item or currency rewards, then that further encourages players to spend time in-game ranking up. The code for the ranking system is also already finished, it just needs to be reused from ranked mode and then tweaked a little to include stuff like rewards and possibly different ranks. It's really easy. September 22nd was a dark day for battle mode fans. It was the day when battle mode died, and since the game mode relies so heavily on its multiplayer aspect, it's essentially impossible to get into a decent server nowadays, further extending its death. As a result, this death further sets how Doors could never branch out from its own genre. However, I don't think battle mode is fully dead. With some improvements such as a better matchmaking system, the revitalization of the ranking system from ranked mode, and just more content overall such as new entities, I think the game mode could really stand out. I would like to mention that given its experimental nature, updating battle mode shouldn't be a priority now. However, I do think it could be cool as a future project for the developers in one of the later batches. So with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of all this. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.